The George Alleyne Hall, located on the University of the West Indies Mona campus, Kingston, Jamaica, home of the Panthers, presents entertainment, excitement, and intriguing discussions around topical issues while looking at student development outside the classroom. Panthers Talk, the new GAH online television series. Stay tuned.
Members of the with other persons on campus.
I see a majority, gender majority here. See the here,
4 to 6.
Girl.
Okay, so good afternoon again, Dr. Chan, good afternoon. I hope all is well with you, and I want to formally thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule for meeting with us. My name is Rayanne Bernard, and I am the Hall Chairwoman at George Alleyne Hall, and today I'm accompanied by my deputy, Rhoda Essien, as well as members of the Senate at the George Alleyne Hall, and they're very eager to ask you questions and most importantly, learn from experiences. So I think I would start with my question, which would be, to my understanding, you served on the Umona Guild Council and you were a past president, and you're also very multifaceted, where you serve as Minister of Security and you're involved in medicine and all of that. So what is the transition like as a student leader into that portfolio?
All right. And of course, you don't like my university, and it's an extent university. And if you look across the Caribbean, the transition, so to speak, for the leadership is taking place. Most of our leaders in the Caribbean know at the time when they started this section for prime minister, they gave a garden somewhere they have the section that was even the prime minister. When I was in campus, I think we only have one. I don't know, I think it's almost good. Right? So that signals that there is a good transition for university providing Caribbean leadership, and this should be true of all sections. The transition, not as difficult to see, but university and your activity as a student plays a critical role in terms of leadership. And leadership at all levels require the same kind of thing. The ability to listen, consult, make a decision. And decision making is the most critical one. A lot of people don't like to make decisions because you have to accept responsibility decisions. And when it goes wrong, everybody can't stand up. If it goes well, everybody wants to share. In other words, you have success, have many fathers, fail, have none. Right? That is the reality of life. But if you're leading, you have to take the risk. And it's really about your assess situation. Make a decision, it goes right. If you're a successful leader, it goes right most times. Right?
So my question is, I'm an information technology major at the University of the West Indies.
Major?
Information technology. IT. Yes, at Umona, and I opted to go to Umona because I seen the best UE for me in terms of STEM. And some of my friends, they were like, "Listen, are you sure you want to go to Jamaica for school?" They even opted to go to K-Bill instead. So my question basically is, how do you reshape the world's perspective on Jamaica and crime, given that we're in a technological era and we can use that to our advantage?
I like to think more often say some of the courses are very strong in IT and this one. We need to build stronger IT in the Caribbean most of it. But in terms of the perception of Jamaica, it's a real challenge. We're unique, and not the same as the Jamaican, but if we look at the statistics, we have the highest murder rate in the world. We're big enough to say I look at Ireland sometimes where it was because big 10 murders 10 that published at 20,000, they become a major issue for a year. More than us. Average, we are top of this. And most of it take place in a firearm is violence, other kind of violence. Yet we have had, since 1944, successful elections, and except for one relative things, we have done them routine with democracy. And if you look at the globe, which is what, roughly 70 years, we are maybe one of the oldest democracies. So the two don't quite go together in normal political politics, that a country that has such a long period of successful democracy has the highest value.
Can you turn up your mic, sir?
Yeah, it's not challenging to, and it's not challenging the authority. We haven't had a revolution to say that, except the moment we're talking about, nobody's saying that we want to change government. It's straight into our hands, that's the right thing. So the violence is largely again, personally emerging from business activity, but it is ganja, cocaine in more recent times. It's got advanced credit from us counting in short terms. Those are the three big criminal activity in Jamaica, and generates a lot of activities. So, and what meant for one time again, what I told you I can take possibly is in the area of urban decay. And you heard me if you have time to use to know that on the southern percent of the county, it's 4 police divisions: East, Central Kingston, West Kingston, St. Andrews, South. Takes the coastline as I call it, 7%. And then you get St. James, Westbourne, Clarendon, St. Catherine, or Bullshit, or St. Louis County. It's a challenge to highlight, but in terms of the perception, right, you still have and the third factor you have maybe the most large tourist from mechanics. So here you have something that tourism should be as far from that as possible. Yeah, Montego Bay, which had at one point 185 100,000 birds, that were in the tourism industry. Put all that together, what you end up with that is either again war happens to the geographical areas and specific personalities. Yeah, so and the result is that it's like to operate in 2 countries.
Tree.
So, you know, the uptown above Crossroad in Kingston is easy to describe. Is that a different world downtown? And that's so when the tourists come here and come to Montego Bay and go to all, even though they all do because centers they can walk and they farm the centers if you want that food. They think this paradise restored. So they don't have it in pockets. And this social dichotomy creates a thing where, you know, people not conscious of what that's on their doorsteps. My students who I have to take out of now, when gather on and find a family member, put them out to study. When they are studying, gunshot with them all night. A different thing for the man in Spring Farm, who's living with a pool outside. Go to a hotel to live where you're getting 5-star service with a black and white. You know, so it's the social and geographical division in Jamaica. Pretty sharp. It's one of what we have to overcome and work towards diversity. It could be just one someone really objective data language. In fact, I offered some years ago to pay for someone from the university to go master degree. I said, I paid if you just come and study Montego Bay and how we survive at a primary resort, which is extremely sensitive to violence. And the same highest values we can have, and maybe the largest informal economy. So, but the race survival under that is dichotomy where people don't feel almost like a murder is related or something. So the gangs are killing you slowly, but I can walk here freely, no one that's looking to fight out the bottom of the gangs. So it's changing a bit, but it's a challenge. Almost don't used to walk, almost don't.
I was just gonna say, when I went to campus, I used to walk down to Augusttown, sit on the street side with them. Yeah. And now they live right beside Augusttown. Her first experience hearing gunshots was crazy because it's been ringing out there in recent months.
Yeah.
So the Georgia Lane Hall is right on top of,
All the stone.
beside the Zozo where the
Right.
gunshots and everything else going on. So as students, I think what she's saying as a regional student, is there anything being done by your ministry to change the perception for students to want to even?
It's difficult to change the company. The students who are young and tend to take risks and come on. It's not people who are always doing freely. In the days, they will take the chance on nights, nights and one door. The numbers are such a difficult. You don't know when people come and you get tested on that whole thing. You can't go to Jamaica and one door free. You got to feel comfortable. Once you put the news out there, it's hard to gloss over the fact that the guys moderate.
Violence is primarily promoted by the entertainment industry in the form of music, and males are the primary victim to this. So my question to you is, how in your capacity as the Minister of National Security addressing this issue?
Alright. Couple of comments answer. Violence itself, as what causes it all, is murder is the highest form of violence to the areas. And you can only deal with violence by strong, actual strong policing in the first place. That would save life. This is why we do impact these over special operation. We will save the public murders so we can have trained team of police officers in special operations team to try and save lives now. That's what we're looking to do. That's not very short term. We have to look at the long haul. There's still no single theory developed by the anthropologists or social advice. There's a high level of violence that they explode at the time. And I'd say the suggestion that the musicians stimulate time. As a musician, I take some of it. I think the creative people refer to side, right? Rather than set the stage. It's a bit like what I said that gangs identify with political parties. And in the old days, like we saw that, especially when politicians had worked together and we have procurement and all this. But in many ways, gangs take on the color of the community. But they're looking to operate in a space where they feel comfortable. They're not going to get into two fights. They are fighting with the guy outside, they are fighting to make a living, they are fighting to get money for their drugs, So they live in a community where their welcome is different. They don't want to come with a fighting with the party, so they take on the color of the community. But they live a party independent. You have people in the inner city who put on a green shirt today and put on an orange shirt tomorrow somewhere else. When I went to Montego Bay, I've never taken that. Politics get out of there, advocates or fighting. Go to them, please, go ahead. I was mentored and more advocate position. I'm not trying to say I got people that more style like to share. And I had people come to me down to the mountain and say, I want to work with Dr. Chan. I want to work because the election nearly $2,000 police station. And that's not that bad, I want to work. They come back to me and say, I hear you have work already and I know my friend working with you. So I'm going to be able to ask if you can work with them. Now, that is more common except in the company you have these blocks where people have become very solid with one another. And but even there, what people realize, election day, you take the work and somebody will say, I said the PNP, you'll sit down and watch them vote a lot. And the PNP said some people in the West Indies, I'll watch. It's gradually getting smaller and smaller, hopefully, but that's how it operates now. And I don't think, I said, entertainment is part of the Jamaican culture. Music, dancing, partly common everywhere. But I don't think they reflect more what is in the society.
Alleyne, this is
No,
yes.
Yeah.
You mentioned implementing more of a rigorous law enforcement or regarding the police and all of that. And there's always been a general divide between law enforcement and the general population. And I want to know if you've ever considered, humanizing law enforcement through social media or being more present on social media applications like Twitter or even TikTok that's booming right now.
Give the example.
Oh, example, right. And this would be like a two-part question. So in doing that, how do you plan to like strike a balance between, you know, humanizing law enforcement, but however, you know, keeping it professional? Because there was a recent TikTok with the police officers who have their gun and they were singing, what song was it? I forgot the song. There we go. And it wasn't professional and it wasn't in a good light. So I want to know if there's any code of ethics that we can implement to make sure that the content that these law enforcement are putting out there is appropriate.
Social media has changed how we relate to each other. It really changed the world also in everything. You know, the other time when if you're getting emotional, let me say, it used to change that microchip every 5 years. That's what people start out with that. Have a new one. Now it's almost a year. The rate of change is dramatic and everything. And you know, I don't think they ever been here. And if you see a black and white TV or radio feed, you're thinking analog radio, it is a piece of study, cultural item, not a functioning item. Like some people keep the plastic based music as opposed to the CDs and YouTube. They are historical items that when they are functioning. And the rate of change that is happening, it took nearly 30 years to move from black and white TV to color TV. And then it went to did another 20 years to digital. And now digital TV gets changing almost every 6 months. The first Motorola telephone, Motorola name again, telephone again, what was that? Big song to do that was like, oh, that's what I said. So you have, now I have a telephone in my hand. That in my early years, a big chasing. Cartoon, which you don't use again. So I mentioned that further because the next thing I said, you know, I had an interesting discussion about it. I said that the man is really the top spy, the deputy director of CIA. And the head of CIA, I wanted to marry president, so before I sit there, he's a telepath. And it just reminded me when I spoke about it. You know, that remember, and it was caught, you see it in published, that the first revolution was the first industrial revolution was led by the creation of the printing press. And the fourth revolution was the internet. And the most popular book sold in the printing press was made by far was books on witchcraft, which led to the burning of all writers from the United States in Europe. That's what the first industrial revolution, though we can trace all the government and the Federal Revolution, that was what it was. So that's what we face with the internet today. It is bring a lot of good, but I mean, it is potential to be here. And so you see a lot of the one thing happened for the police is interesting. Human being reacts to that. So it's an abusive thing, it go viral. Say a policeman guiding a blind man across the street, nothing exciting about that. So that's one aspect, but we do have a challenge with our party. And it's not just the police. Again, as Bob said, from Cologne, the people who get our party exercise our person and eat the abuse, they're not ruining up that culture of our party. In some countries, a police stereo like a police stereo. I mean that in some stereo. They don't mind, they don't give you promotion. There's a police, police service. The use of authority in Jamaica, politics, everything, is how people use authority can be very challenging. And it's police again reflecting some of that. But we have done a lot in terms of training. It's just that we're training like two police. The CSSP, community service and branch of the police, they do a lot. They want to do, I said, we just promoted that they're carrying the homework and the bikes to students who didn't have talents. So So they have a different image. But at the same time, that policeman at home and fight another time, AK-47. And when they have to fight, defend themselves against AK-47, you will kill somebody. It's not something that anybody feel good about. In a particular mentality and mindset. As well, the gangs will snap up for the kill. But it's a big challenge. But I think we have set 3 things. One, we have training, and we are training different. We want to go really that about 150 went to customer service training after school training school. That division that we're trying to promote across in relationship and the management. There's emotional treatment and how they treat their own violence. And then there's this cultural shift of giving people authority who are not used to it and they're already know. So, but again, we are moving it and we have to come and complete the job.
My name is Abigail Wright, and I'm currently pursuing a bachelor's in economics with a minor in accounting and economics.
Good maths as well.
Alright, so over the years, the Jamaica Labour Party has advocated for youth development through youth empowerment through national development, right? But in recent times, we've seen that crime and violence has plagued the youths in the inner city communities. Now, what plans and policies does your ministry has in place in order to curtail that problem to make the youth into the men and women that we want in today's society?
Number 1, our education system has been fundamentally wrong. I know we have to look at it, but we see the extent is where it's been fundamental things there. Well, we have to start from infancy public health as well as COVID has been a major distraction, but that's a pandemic because ensuring kids born in very difficult conditions, they reach their early. The child in daughter suffering from emotional trauma, physical trauma, malnutrition, they're not everywhere. And especially boys, so oftentimes in our culture, they leave the boy alone to be the most from their 8 or 9 on the street, and they try to protect girls. Nothing wrong with that, but they like to do something for the boy, they want to bring the girls. That's the girls here. And we are looking at how we can make significant changes. We are looking at both the schools, we are looking at training, a hard program being a method and facts development, how we reach more people. We are expanding the national service corps. Even if we get, even if it's late, we start to recruit some of our young guys who may not be ready for tertiary, not only in a 6th form, relevant tertiary program, but a national service corps. People get formal training, and remember the National Service Corps offers training both as soldiers, but also on technical training.
We saw the drastic and the economic changes in the market because more persons started to buy flights. It shows that there is definitely an impact on you. So while it may not be in its entirety reflected, what do you think? Why do you think you still subscribe to the lifestyle and the mentality of these artists?
Like I said, it's a part. Question I go into my medical background is the more pathology of it. I have to look at cause and effect. Vibes cartel, because this child will grow up in the inner city. And people around at the same kind of experience. They are just creative talent that we do today. Basically, right and very really, which appeals to them. Once it does that, what did them become famous by virtue of the music selling, people supporting them, other rolling people, like them device, and they start the same thing. So they perpetuate the image, but it's coming from a more fundamental fault in what we do. Society, you never could tell the vibes started when the school and started learning music from day one. In Jamaica, music is not about bass, grandma, music and sport. Yes, by the time you speak now, they take sports off the curriculum of the schools. It's an extracurricular activity. And then put on some 6 bookkeeping course. Office practice, bookkeeping, accounts, and that foolishness. Anybody who can read and write properly and learn mathematics, can learn the course in 2 weeks. They go to a school, high school, and it's a 3rd form, about 5 business schools. What the hell is that for? But you don't teach music, I don't know what that's supposed to be, unless you want to. There's some ridiculous to me, but you guys are challenged them. There is no way any school in Jamaica should have, besides good physical facilities, proper standard facility, classroom, I would pay for you. And a gym, and a music room. And remember, music and technology are about to go together.
Yes.
I'm currently pursuing a major in economics. I've gotten most of my responses from this session because it's very detailed, but my question surrounds youth leadership. What are some advice can you give to the youth in these times, because COVID-19 and us in becoming the most effective leader?
And influence take decision based on the state is there's still a subject in life. You know your own background. What makes sense here? And if it makes sense to Jamaica, you don't bend because somebody who come from Harvard University, most outstanding university in the Western Hemisphere. I said, it's very good. So I will look at my situation. I said, we have quite good situation. And if you look at it, I think in the intellectual field, I'm starting more of that leadership to assert ourselves without being unnecessarily contentious and poisonous. Because before, we have to learn to be strong on issues. Or at least do well. There's first people who don't train in America. They come here and start training the women. It's a board training. You do all the fancy stuff, Mr. Mills. You put that tie in, more run the tie, that problem will straight the back. Right? So we have to look at our circle, what is best now for people, and make those decisions. And young people, you don't be afraid to take unpopular positions that could become popular on yourselves. It's like what you do is when you take a decision, interrogate this to your colleagues, work through it, and this look like the best route. And if you compromise on practicality. And this is the best thing what that can be done now. I need a car which I don't have, I need that, I can do this. And you get it done. By the next day you can do it.
Wilson. I am a general chemistry major and a food chemistry minor. Now, we live in a time where we're forced to live in this virtual society, and it is now easier for individuals to shy behind other persons or hide from leadership responsibilities. So my question to you is, how do you think this pandemic has affected honing leadership skills? And also, how do you think we can use this period to our advantage to becoming impactful leaders?
You get the best. What creates you to growth of individual talent, but in terms of holding it into a product that is acceptable socially or otherwise not to risk it, discussing it off the list. Even when you're on Zoom, it's easy now to work on whatever platform where you can sit down and kind of literally exercise your mind independently and together.
Feel
a little bit of free flow activity. It's generally that campaign improvement what we have. That's what Codel done by isolating human beings are relatively so that we get back together. But that also gives some advantage in that, I said, if you geopolitically, it gives you an advantage. We're close to the world biggest market, so nearshore activity will become more meaningful. But the critical advantage that we have been forced to get into the technology. We talked about for years, and government will not be fully functional about hiring. But if as we have said, we wanted and described this as a younger generation, we wanted it back, they would have maybe put the money in here. It will still take us a long time to get to have broadband across the island. You know what I mean? From 2015, 16, we talked about it. We're going to get it done by December because we realize in this relative isolation and cyber operating and cyber characteristics, we need communication. Why does it not replace social interface? In the modern world, the communication element is critical to learn. So, why COVID has, by its lockdowns and social isolation has created somewhat here issue of domestic violence, people getting depressed and all that. That's been emotional trauma. There have also been a note that a small country like us need to move more rapidly into the first sort of activity that is required to really create up into one. So, as we come out of it, it's the first pandemic since 1918, let's see how it's been done. 1918 led to World War. 1918 post-pandemic led to 2 World Wars, but also the developments.
14 was World War I, 45 World War II. So yeah.
But that's so post-1918. Yeah, the Great Depression, then the World War. That's right on the pandemic.